Let's talk about the history of YouTube.
Okay.
Let's talk about it as in Gen 1, Gen 2, and then what Gen 3 is going to be.
Okay, interesting.
So, Gen 1 being, let's say, the people that first really rose up. I mean, I think the pinnacle of this probably has to be like PewDiePie.
There's before that
There
too,
is
though.
before
There's
that.
before that, and I would actually say there's 4 generations. We're in Gen 3 right now. I think the first generation was more like Balloon Shop, early Smosh, like that era of like early Rhett and Link. There was no monetization on YouTube yet. You could get sponsorships, but like people were just making funny, stupid videos.
I can't believe you said Balloon Shop. That was like one of my favorites.
Hey, Alan! What do you want, dear Rick? I look like a hush puppy.
Then Gen 2, you have like the beginning of Marquez, the Paul brothers in that era, like kind of near the end of that era, but very similar.
Early Mr. Beast was in that Gen 2 zone.
PewDiePie was massive then. This is when Let's Play Gaming was massive. And then early Tech Review, Marquez Brownlee, talking like Unbox Therapy. And I would say the end of Gen 2 is like Casey Neistat, which is like the end of the vlog era.
No, I'd agree with that. Like in my mind, the most classic YouTube, Casey Neistat, PewDiePie with the video games, Marquez with the tech. Back when you could actually have a YouTube rewind and everyone didn't get angry.
So then we get into now, and you have kind of Casey crossing into this area, making it slightly more cinematic videos.
Tons of people now taking influence from Casey Neistat.
And the rise of Mr. Beast being like challenge era stuff.
Beastification of YouTube.
The fast-paced stuff. And I think we're kind of in the end of Generation 3 here, being like almost the bell curve of that, where it's like we started slow, middle of Gen 3 is like super fast, super hyper everything, and now we're starting to slow back down.
Yeah.
Where vlogging has kind of come back a little bit. We're seeing podcasts be like way more relevant. Everything's longer.
Like Ryan Trahan, he's like so true to himself, and he's bringing out like really good storytelling and even day-to-day stuff, but it's almost more, it's more condensed.
Now, if we're moving into the next generation, Gen 4, what would you say we're moving into?
That's tricky, especially with AI and like all these new tools and stuff. I think we're going to continue to see this crave for authenticity. Like what we talked about with Theo Vaughn, seeing people who are just truly authentic to themselves.
Or the opposite side, where you combine that with insane cinematography.
Yeah, I could see that.
And I think like the artist in me hopes that that's the case.
Yeah.
And also what you said with the AI, editing is going to be a lot easier. Shooting is going to be a lot easier. So what is going to be the thing that sets you apart is going to be either your authenticity and your personality, like what you said, or the level of cinematography that you can produce.
I agree with that. And then everything's just going back to long form, because now you can do a 3-minute podcast. Welcome to microPOD.